we're monitoring two tropical storms, one in the Atlantic and one in the Pacific. And the threats the next 24 hours anyway are going to be the potential for flooding rains with each. Now the first is Tropical Storm Felix here in the southern Caribbean. It's moved through the Antilles with relatively minor wind impacts, we think. But the flooding rain potential is still there in the southernmost Antilles for the next 6 hours, and then along the northern coast of South America on toward Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. Now here are the winds. You can see they're starting to die away in the central islands. They'll be actually onshore and very light on the north coast of South America, so those tropical storm warnings that we have there are likely to be dropped later today. In the meantime, tropical storm warnings remain in effect for the ABC Islands as the system moves basically to the west at a fairly good clip. Slow development is expected, but it's so close to the coast that we don't expect it to develop very quickly until it gets farther away from the coast. Here's our projected path. 72 hours, it's narrowing in on Central America or just to the north of there, and then Belize and the Yucatan are threatened in about 4 days. That time frame we expect it to be a hurricane well before that time frame, but moving well to the south of the northern islands of the Caribbean, we think. Now closer to home, we have a trough of low pressure and old frontal boundary, basically from the Texas coast, offshore Louisiana, across Florida, and offshore the southeastern United States, and basically we've got showers along that. Weak low pressure center off the Texas coast with some showers lingering there. Watch out, mariners, for an isolated water spout or a lightning bolt coming out of that. Some heavy rain along that frontal boundary, likely across northern Florida, and there has been rain off the east coast of the United States over the last 3 or 4 hours. Charleston, down here in South Georgia, we really need the rain, but watch out for some localized pooling on the roadways. Could be nasty there. No tropical cyclone development expected with this. The upper level winds are not favorable, so just rain along the coast. Now there's our tropical storm. We go farther out, we have one low pressure center here in the central Atlantic. We'll monitor that. Some thunderstorms have flared up with it the last 6 to 12 hours, but development, if any, is going to be relatively slow to occur, and it's not moving very fast. Finally, in the eastern Pacific, here's Henriette, and it's moving to the west-northwest at 12. Now let's zoom in on this because it's primarily a flood threat too. This wind observation is pointing very close to the circulation center, which is very close to this cluster of heavy rain right here. So it's moving past Manzanillo and will move by Puerto Vallarta over the next 6 hours. Winds are not the threat. The threat is flooding rains and the potential for a mudslide along the hills of Mexico the next 24 hours. It'll then move offshore a little more and toward the Baja California coast.